This is the M2 method for solving the Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Now, this is very similar to OP, with just a couple differences, which we'll go through in this video. Now, guys, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and are we ready to learn the M2 method? Let's get to it. So the big difference between these two methods is the swapping algorithm. With the OP, or Old Pachman, we would do a T-perm, which is a lot of moves. It's more than 10 moves, so, you know, it takes some time, like that. But with M2, we only have to do one move as a swapping algorithm, just like that. And if you're unfamiliar with the basics to blindfolded solving, then I recommend you go check out my OP, or Old Pachman, the beginner guide to blind solving, which you can find down below in the comments, because this method just builds on the basics that you learned in that video. So go check that out. Now, anyways, let's get into a deeper dive into M2. And basically, I'll show you right here a quick example. I accidentally did this with red font, but it's fine. For OP, solving this simple swap cycle goes like this. So we go to L, and then, we go to J, and then we go to L. So to J, looks like this. Swapping algorithm, and then undo. And then L, like that. Swapping algorithm, undo. Now for M2, this time I actually got the color scheme right. But for M2, this is our buffer, or the piece we're swapping. And this is our target, or what we're swapping to. So JL will look like this. See how much faster that is? So for this one, this is what we're swapping to. We have to move it up there, like that. Then we do a swapping algorithm, and then we undo. Just look how much faster that is compared to OP. Now, apart from the swapping algorithm and the buffer and target locations, there is one big difference apart from that. And that would be that we have some special cases, which would be in the M slice. All the M slice targets are special cases. And this is because when we set up to the target, or sorry, to the swapping location up here, which is A, we can't disturb the M slice. The M slice cannot be disturbed. And you might be thinking, well, how do I do this or this? Well, we just got to have some special cases. And there's 4 special cases split into 2 groups. There's, or what I like to call them, the long and the short. The short are, I think it's kind of obvious, a bit easier to learn, and then the long are a bit harder. Now, for the short special cases, these are C and W. And basically, if you have C or W, you do the special case instead of the normal setup to here. And another thing that's special with these is that if you have C or W or I or S, which are the other 2 special cases, if you have one of those in the first slot of the letter pair, so if it's the first letter of the letter pair, so if I have C, D, C is obviously in the first letter in the letter pair, so this is the first case, and here we just do the algorithm that we'll learn here. Now, if we get C or W in the second letter pair, for example, DC, then we have to do the opposite. So instead of doing the algorithm for C, we do the algorithm for W. And there's 2 main ways to remember this. Either you just remember it, like, oh, C is in this. I see that C is in the second letter of the letter pair. I do the opposite. Or whenever you get C in the second spot of the letter pair, you just memorize W. Both of them work, and yeah, it's just personal preference, I guess. So the algorithms for these is the first 2, C and W, pretty easy. For C, we have U2 M prime, U2 M prime. Pretty easy. Just like that. And for W, we have the exact opposite. It's the same thing but backwards. So M, U2, M, U2. And for the other two, which are I and S, it's a bit longer, but it looks like this. You just gotta remember it. For I, it's like this. And for S, it's like this. Now, for the setup moves, it's pretty simple. You cannot affect the M slice except for the swapping location. And we do this by moving it, setting it up, and then in. So basically, move this to either the right or left, and then you move the piece up there. And I'll just go through all the setup moves that we have. For A, we have nothing. It's just M2. It's just a swap, just like how with D in OP, we just do the T perms with no setup moves. Then for B, it's just right sexy move. So M2, undo, right sexy move. So once again, sexy move, swap, undo, right, or inverse, right sexy move. For C, it's the special case, like that. So you don't swap. You just do this algorithm instead of the setup swap, undo setup. And for D, we have left sexy move, so like that, and then swap, of course, and undo. And just note for C, if you get C in the second letter pair, or the second letter of the letter pair, then you have to do the algorithm for W. Same thing for I and S. Then for E, we do what's that? That's B, right? No, B prime. B. It's B. Oh my god. So we do B, like that, and then move that down there. So B, L prime, B prime, M2, and then undo. And what's nice with the method is that for these where you have to do B moves like this, you can just rotate and make it a U move, and it's the exact same thing. Like, I don't recommend you staying right here and rotating your hand. Just rotate the whole cube like that, and M2 is still the same thing, just M2. So you can do it from any orientation basically. Now for F, it's the same thing, except you do an R2, or sorry, an L2, and then you swap, of course. And then for G, it's the same thing, but you just do an L instead of an L prime. And then for H, there's two ways to do this. Either you move that down first, like that, and then you do the setup for G, so like that. Which it's a bit long. I think I did it wrong now. Anyways, for where were we? Right. For H, you can either do this one, where it was move it down to G, and then do the setup for G. It's a bit long, like I said, but it works. Or you can do you can do this. You can do the setup for what would that be? For L and J, except with the Y move. Sorry, it would be L. So basically, that would be a U prime Y like that, and then moving it up and back at that. So L prime U, swap, or Y U, sorry. So like that. And then for I, it's the special algorithm, a special case like that. Or if it's in the second letter position, then it's the inverse. Then for J, it's like this. So U, R, U prime, swap, undo. And then for K, there is none because that's the buffer. And then for L, it's just the opposite of J. So it's U prime, L prime U, swap, and then undo. For M, it's the same thing for E, just on the other side. So that would be a B prime, and then R, and then B or U if you rotate. So look like this. And then for N, same thing as H. So just a Y move up like that. Or you do the long version. And then for O, it's just another simple one. It's just move down. Same thing as for G, except on the other side. So once again, like that. And then for P, same thing as F, like that. Then we move on to Q. Now Q, it's technically a special case, but it's pretty easy. You just gotta flip this to do a flipping algorithm on only that. And the one I do is just sexy, and then do the setup for P, and then undo sexy. And then for R, this one's pretty simple. It's U prime L U swap. And then for S, it's a special algorithm. And if it's in the second position, it's the inverse, which is just I. Then for T, just like R, except on the other side, so like that. And then for U, there's nothing. For V, there's move it over there twice back, like that, not that hard. For W, it's a special algorithm, opposite of C. So W is like this, and then if it's in the second, you do C, so like that. And then for X, it's just like V, except on the other side. So once again, like that. And that's all the locations for edges. Now for corners, it's just OP again. So you do the modify Y param like this, and you have the swapping location right here, the buffer, and just do a normal OP on that. Now for parity, because yes, there is parity. If you have an odd amount of pieces memorized, you will have parity. And for parity, this algorithm is pretty simple. You just do D prime L2 D, and then you do M2 D prime L2 D. And now you know how to solve the Rubik's Cube blindfolded using the M2 OP method. Now, once you learn this method, basically what you have to do is just you have to learn your pairs. You're gonna get better at memorizing, and then execution as well. So basically better at everything, I guess. But memorizing, big part. You want to be able to memorize as quickly as possible. One passing, I can't do that yet. I'm working on that, but that's the goal. And then we also have, of course, execution, where you should be recalling your memory pretty fast. You should be thinking about the next pair. So if you're doing I, let's say like this, you should be thinking, what's next? Oh, it's B. And then you can go straight into B like that. And then I guess that's it. I think that's it. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment any tips, tricks, or video ideas. Go tell me in the comments below if this helped you learn what are we talking about again? Right. If it helped you learn M2 and what other tutorials you want me to create. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Have a good rest of your day, and goodbye.